Hey, it's Jay Foss back with another video. Tonight, I'll be talking about a topic I've been wanting to cover for a while, but didn't really know how to present it in a way that was meaningful. And that is 3-1-1. I have been asked several times why I choose to run it, and to give a complete answer, I sort of had to start from the beginning of where I'm at. So I'm fighting in Gypsy Danger. Gypsy Danger is a top 5 alliance. I've completed 32 wars with them. And we obviously face the highest competition. You know, we faced Departed and Team Korea and 7 Days Ascended and Avengers and all them. So that sort of explains where I'm fighting. I also have to establish to some extent that for me 3-1-1 is working, and without going into too many details that probably won't interest you, like I said, we fight in the High Alliance. I have one of the weakest rosters overall in the top 5 alliances, at least in terms of war, and I'm currently 11th of the 30 players for war average in Gypsy Danger, so slightly above average despite a weak roster. Obviously, that doesn't rule out other things, like maybe I'm lucky or maybe I play the board well, but to an extent, I hope that at least establishes some sort of clause that it's working. Now, one of the most similar formations to it is 3-2. I'm going to go into some 3-2 teams that are offensive teams within my alliance, talk about the different types of 3-2s, and then I'll get into 3-1, why I chose to run it, some limiting factors and counter arguments against it, and all that. So I'll be right back in a sec with some 3-2s. Alright, getting into some 3-2 examples. This is a member in my alliance. I'm not going to show their name, but they had a few examples of the different 3-2s I wanted to talk about. And here you see a 3-2 where a 3 can kill a side, all at fast speed. And the 2 is different types of support. Their second team is a little bit different, but still kind of similar as well. You have a counterattack supported by the same color. And then you have potentially, I assume, I don't have any of these heroes, but I just got a Lacey, but I would assume with a bunch of blue tiles, this is a full team wipe. Lacey can really be support or attack if you consider her mana effects, but within a 3-2. But you see the counterattack example, and you see a pretty powerful trio that can at least wipe 2, I would guess, or can cause some havoc. Again, you have another example of 3 that can kill a side with 2 of the same color support. Here you have the support of each color strategy, which is also very popular in 3-2. You see the support of Zircon and the support of Garnet. Here you have a pretty powerful trio again, and again, in this context, Lacey is an attacker, and Zircon is support, but because of what Lacey does, she can be support on offense as well as an attacker in many ways. And for the final team, you have similar color support, all fast heroes that can wipe a side. Now I'm going to go into another example of what I sort of think the end game 3-2 is, like the people with the biggest rosters are running for 3-2. Alright, we got some more 3-2 examples. Notice every single one of these teams is a trio that is fast, that can kill a side, mixed in with a 2 that is taunt, and a healer of the same color. So this person's one of our highest, if not our highest, war performers. And you sort of see that theme throughout the entirety of these 6 teams. And it's obviously pretty effective. It's also requires very, very specific heroes. And I'll sort of get into that. Well, I can't run these combinations. I would like to. I probably would if I could. I love this idea, especially of a taunt on each team. And it's obviously very effective and very strong offensive teams. I will note at this point, while we're looking at these basically perfect 3-2 teams, at least for the play style, that before doing this, I did talk to about 10 different players to get their opinions. Some were very helpful, and I appreciate that. And one of the common mistakes in 3-2 that was mentioned was the support color not making sense. And in fact, I was given the example of Ratatoskr and Frigg as a 2, as the support colors, by 2 different people in unrelated examples. So just throwing that out there, 3-2 does make mistakes, or that you can't just put randomly any 3-2, and I think these are good examples of the 3-2 archetypes that are used offensively. Now I'll get back to my stuff on the 3-1. All right, now getting back to the heart of the question. So why do I run 3-1? Well, I don't have a lot of the good trios that would be meta 3-2 examples. Basically missing a lot of the heroes. That's part of it. The other part is I like this dual color support. I'm not completely reliant on 2 colors. Basically, if you start a board and you get taunt, and I don't use taunt for all my teams because I don't have enough of it, but this is the second example of a team that I have. If I get the 9 blue for Krampus, I'm going to be fine anyway the vast majority of the time. Now, I prefer over a healer here, but all my healers on these teams, for the most part, in the 3-1 ones, they all either boost health or provide some sort of mana gain or generation boost or something. And I think largely, those are what I would definitely prefer in this setup is boosted health, because it doesn't matter when you fire it. And this team doesn't have boosted health, but at least Toxicondra has the mana gain. I also have quasi support in the yellow with Poseidon protecting against Alacy. But basically, that's why I run it. It was brought to my attention that was asked, well, then don't you need 18 tiles instead of 9 for support? And in theory, no. The premise is that I can get either color support and be okay and stall long enough for my trios, offensive-minded trios, to get some work in. Another thing I wanted to bring up here, and this again was a valid point, just like the last one, is that it was specifically mentioned that you need Krampus, Ariel, Kara, Deandre, Black Knight, Garnet, etc. to keep the taunt alive. I have had a few issues with Kara dying, but with Black Knight and Krampus, it's pretty close to they can take all 5 hits. And the reason why is that there aren't a lot of snipers, so you're getting a lot of partial damage, etc. Now, will it happen every time? No, but if Krampus takes 4 specials and then dies and I still can't win, then I find it unlikely that I would have won running an additional matching color support anyway. But that was a good argument that was brought up. The other one that brought up that I did agree with was the Sif type teams. I showed one earlier, and that because of the nature of counterattack, you kind of want your healer to either boost the health beforehand or be able to heal at the same time the counterattack is, you'd want the heal to be ready to aid in counterattack, and I thought that was also a good point. I do think because of the way the game is going, right now it's still very much kill a side. 3 heroes kill a side. I do think as heroes get more powerful and defenses get more ridiculous, I really do think the future will be like a taunt for one support, a boosted health healer for the other support, and then a trio that can wipe a team. And those trios already exist, but they haven't proliferated enough through the accumulation of heroes that they're not super common. There are trios that can wipe full teams, and I sort of see the game headed that way. Obviously, you can get a bad board with any type of setup, 3-1, 3-2, 4-1 mono, rainbow, whatever. But right now, this is working for me, and it wasn't even a conscious decision to do it. I just sort of gradually used it more and more, wanted to counter certain things, and I play with all different types of offensive teams. If you ever see me raid you, you might see some weird ones, and that's probably why. But I talked to a lot of people about this topic, a lot of very good high-level players, and maybe the best point that was brought to me, and that's why I wanted to show those, quote, perfect 3-2 teams, is that, and I'm paraphrasing here, that they believed if I had the heroes that I would evolve back to 3-2. If I could make those teams, which I showed earlier, where all 6 teams had taunt and all 3 were fast and could kill a side, etc., that I would sort of go back to that. And I think that that could be fair. I try to be adaptable and not super close-minded on these type of things, and I may even run 3-2s in a war in the near future in a match that we know we're going to win, just to sort of do it, I guess, for entertainment purposes, to try it out. But I've been asked this a lot, why I run 3-1-1. I hope that I explained why. I hope that I at least demonstrated some degree of effectiveness and why I'm using it now. Obviously, if you see my war videos, you can see all my teams, but my teams are sort of in flux right now because I just got Costume Lacey and Soul Exchanges coming up, and I think I'll be adding 3 new heroes to my rotation, so I'm only showing a few here. But yeah, that's, for the people that asked, that's why I run 3-1-1 and why I like it. So I appreciate the view as always. I will be going on vacation near the end of the month, so if I miss a war video, that's why. I'm going to try to get some other content out before then, including a rush guide, and I want to do something on the hardest hitters as well, so hopefully I can get that done for the end of the month. Thanks again for watching.